Hi, I'm Philip Copeland's, married to Elvie Miller's sister. We're going to take a tour through this Meadowlark house and see the updates we've done on it. We did the basement in 2017, and the shell upstairs we left exposed for 2.5 years while we lived down here in the basement. My dad made all the doors. These are all aspen. This one is pine. Put a barn sliding door on here to save some space. And we had an on-demand hot water heater since we didn't have any power down here. Here's the little root cellar.
Hi, I'm Becky Koblenz. I'm a sister to Elvie at Meadowlark Log Homes, and I'll show you my garden. We've had this garden for 3 years now. So here I have some zucchini. My garden had a late start, but it looks as if they're having some fruit. So I'm almost ready to pick some zucchini, which is awesome. I love zucchini. I make a lot of different zucchini dishes in my house for our family.
And you can see it's all 6-inch logs. For something different, we did flat on the inside. We were living in the basement for 2.5 years while we finished the upstairs. We laid all the 8-foot wall logs by hand until we got to the roof line, and then we used the crane to do the purlins and the gable ends.
We did raise a few carrots here. I'm hoping to perhaps save them over winter. Sometimes we cover them up in the garden with sawdust and we dig them throughout the winter, which is awesome to have fresh carrots during the winter. And our sweet corn is amazing. This garden is just a perfect spot for the sweet corn because it gets the sun from the east every morning all day long, and it gets the sun from the west at night, and during the longest days of summer it gets at least 15 hours of sun. It has just been growing by leaps and bounds, and we get a wonderful crop of sweet corn. If you've never tried to eat gold nugget, try it. It's awesome corn.
This was not a prefabricated home on the pad at Meadowlark Log Homes. I just did it by myself with a couple neighbors and friends. So this archway is not the typical Meadowlark rounded curve, just for something different. We did one interior wall with 2 sides round, since my wife grew up with that style. These cabinets are hickory. We got them done by some friends in Bonners Ferry, panhandle cabinets, and they gave it a stain, as they said that the hickory will turn color with time.
Cantaloupe and watermelon are just going to town this year. I've never seen them this thick. I haven't even looked for fruit, so I really hope there's some fruit in there for us. We really enjoy these cantaloupes and watermelons in the fall when they ripen. They're just really, really delicious. There's nothing like garden fresh produce. And my tomatoes are looking pretty good. We have a few ripe ones coming on. This is almost mid-August, so that's good. But normally, when I harvest my tomatoes, most of them are green. I have to cover them up in my basement and just use them as they ripen. And these tomatoes, all these plants will hopefully make enough so I can make homemade salsa that we use throughout the winter, homemade pizza sauce, and ketchup, which we all love. I have one cherry tomato plant, and usually those produce a lot of cherry tomatoes, which we eat fresh out of the garden. They're so yummy.
The railing I designed by myself. My dad did a lot of the detail stuff, trim work. We just did step by step as we got to it. See this antler knob for a handle. This was just a little after the fact closet that we had some dead space for. And the loft up there was not really in the plan, but I decided to turn it into my personal den space / storage. Nice size for a shorter guy. It's just our little storage areas on the sides. Still not finished. As you can see, I still need to finish the wiring and put lights and outlets up here. As you can see, we're not quite done with all the lighting yet. There will be an outlet for the outside light and one for the inside lighting. We might have a chandelier hanging here. And probably a fan up here at the ridge pole.
My peas and my beans are fairly poor this year. Usually I plant enough beans to can, but this year we'll probably just have enough to eat fresh. Squash plants are really growing, and I'm hoping to have some really good spaghetti squash. There's butternut squash. Out here in northwestern Montana, we have a bit of a hard time to raise the butternuts because the season is almost not long enough. But last year I had an amazing crop of butternuts, and I'm hoping to have again this year. So we love the butternuts. Down there we have potatoes. Those are not doing the best this year. At least a crop to get us partway through the winter.
The doors up here are pine, but they're also made by my dad. Custom made bathroom vanity and storage cabinets.
Just the other day I harvested my first cucumbers, and I was amazed because these also had a very late start. There were some overripe cucumbers in here, and I was impressed. So anyway, I have a few more coming on. I'm going to have a good pickle crop. I'll probably can some pickles, some cucumbers, and pickle them. We've got onions, which I hope are enough to overlast us during the winter. We have a cool room in the basement that's almost like a root cellar, which is really nice. My last onions lasted until May or April this year. I'm not sure which month. I do spend a lot of hours out here, and I get such a satisfaction of keeping the garden clean. Right now it needs a little bit of cleaning. I sweat a lot while I work out here in the sun, but I just really enjoy working in my garden and seeing the fruits for my family and enough to share for others.
So here's our porch. We still have not done the railing. I'm going to do it a little different with some metal panels, and the stain on the wall is a custom color mixed of acorn and teak and a little pine wood. We're also going to put some chinking on these logs yet. I want to put something on like a log jam or permachink with a light color to contrast the dark. So there's the story of our house.